Hi guys, Steve here from Steve Ellie Survival, back with part 11 of the EDC Survival Kit mini-series. So let's take a look. Okay, so same as before, I'm not going to list everything that's already in here. Take a look in the up that side at the series. Take a look from part 1 all the way through. It'll show you the build-up of what's in this kit and what it's used for. Okay, so the next item that we're going to put in there, you've probably all been waiting for it, and that's a Firesteel ferro rod, fire stick, whatever you want to call it. The one I've gone for is basically like a standard British military issue BCB cheap copy, or not copy but a cheap version. Essentially it's just a small ferro rod there, clamped onto a little sort of baseboard if you like, and we've got this part hacksaw blade here. So the part that we're going to use to actually strike with is this flat edge, not the saw blade. We can use the saw blade for fluffing up tinder, or like a piece of fat wood or something like that, just scraping it up, making some tinder out of that. Or it can be used as a saw blade, because that's essentially what it is. So that can be used as a cutting tool as well. We could use the pointed edge here for making holes in things. Maybe you're trying to sew a piece of leather or a piece of your equipment. You can use that to make holes in it. I've seen some of these as well with that edge actually sharpened, and if you found the right kind of stone, you could sharpen that quite easily. And then, you know, at least this edge here is hardened, so that's going to hold an edge too. Obviously, when we come to use this for its intended purpose, you can see that it's black in colour now. You need to scrape that off till it's silver underneath, and then you can start using that to actually make sparks. And what I'll do, I'll make another video on how to use these, different methods of striking them and using them to create fire. Okay, they are sparks. They are extremely hot, but because they're so fine, they get cool really quick. But don't be fooled, those sparks coming off there are somewhere around the 3,000 degrees mark. So try not to strike that onto your body, because you know you could burn yourself, and in a survival situation that's probably a bad thing. So ferro rod, that's going to enable you to start a fire in very short time. It's all well and good learning fire by friction, but you don't know when you're going to be in a survival situation. You don't know what resources you're going to have available, and unless you're going to carry a bow drill or bow drill set around with you all the time, you know, it's a great skill. It's one that you should definitely learn and practice. But having something readily available like this, which works in the wet as well, some lighters don't, you know, and you're going to get probably 1,000 fires out of that if you use it wisely. Okay, so in that goes. Some people will probably say just pack a lighter. I agree 100%, but a lot of lighters in the wet won't work. They're susceptible to running out. They can get damaged and leak. The tiny piece of ferro rod you get in that is minute, so unless it's going to be bought brand new and go in here and be protected, you know, perhaps keep one in your pocket as well, and then you've got that means to light fire as well. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is a bit of emergency tinder for that. We've already got a few things as we've looked at in previous videos. We can use the whistle, we can use the candle, we could use the dental floss, the condom, the wax paper, the pencil. So we do have quite a bit of tinder, but as a quick fix, emergency go-to straight away, and it's going to take zero processing. Cotton wool is always going to be a winner, isn't it? So we've got a load of pre-made cotton wool there, just in balls. You can just tease that apart, and then that's ready to light straight away. Ideally, you'd want something mixed in with that to make that flame last a little bit longer. You've probably seen a million videos on it. So all I've got there is a piece of cotton wool wrapped in cling film, but it's also impregnated with petroleum jelly or Vaseline. Okay, so that's going to burn for a lot longer than just the cotton wool on its own. Okay, and also what we've got there is a tampon that will create 4 or more, up to probably 8 fires if you cut it down using the saw blade on the ferro rod. Cut that down, tease the fibres apart, get plenty of oxygen in there, and that will give you plenty of fires, a good 4, 6, maybe 8 fires if you use it wisely. Okay, so in that goes as well, nice bit of emergency tinder. As demonstrated on previous videos, we can use many of the items in this survival tin as tinder, but this is going to take the least processing. What I've done is put it into a little snap seal bag because I don't want that to get wet at all, or any risk of that getting wet either. Another thing that's good for, especially the Vaseline as well, if we get any cuts or grazes, that's going to form a protective barrier over those cuts. And the cotton wool obviously we can use for cleaning wounds out, many things like that. So one other use, it's not really a great use, but something that's going to do is keep a lot of the items in the tin still. So specifically if this is going to be used in a tactical scenario or held in a tactical scenario, that's going to stop a lot of the rattles. So wherever you've got space, if you can't think of anything else to go in there, just pack that with a bit more cotton wool, because it's useful, especially in a survival scenario. So yep, that's the 2 items for this video. Please stay tuned for the next episode. As always, stay safe, stay alive, and I'll see you next time.